Hello everyone. Okay, so welcome to the next lecture on English, and what we did in the first two, we practiced certain questions on reading comprehension, then it was sentence rearrangement, then some vocabulary questions, and we are going to continue with the same trend. All right, so let's continue. Let me enlarge it for you to make you read it better. Okay. So the first idiom is to leave no stone unreturned or unturned, right? It means to make every possible effort. Fine? Okay. To call a spade, a spade. The second one, quite easy. इससे आप इसको link कर सकते हैं. To speak plainly and truthfully. If we call a spade, we are truthful. We are plain. We don't worry about how will the other person take it. Okay. The third one, to burn the midnight oil. Okay. So it means to work very hard. मतलब रातों का तेल जलाना नहीं, मतलब रातों तक दिन रात एक कर देना. To have one's hand full, हाथ में इतना काम हो जितना आप कर सकते हो, यानी कि to be extremely busy. Option A. To grease one's palm. Okay. हाथ गरम करते हैं जैसे, right? हाथ grease one's palms means हाथ पे कुछ ऐसा रख दें, right? So palm से आप इसको connect कर सकते हैं. It means to offer bribe या money, जो Indian context में कुछ uncommon नहीं है. Great. So in the following questions we have 6 sentences. The first and the sixth will be fixed. We need to arrange the other 4 in the correct order. The first one. So materially advertisements do us no good. So materially is an adverb here, right? Advertisements हमारे लिए कुछ बहुत अच्छा नहीं करती हैं. Fine. They have but one requirement, that their inclusion should be conspicuous. ये last sentence है. चलिए. Now we need to understand कौन सा sentence pair करता है with the first one. Okay. देखते हैं. So if we try to understand, they have but one requirement. Okay. Fine. ये जो advertisements है, right? You see this word here, advertisements. Fine. I was struggling a bit with it. Fine. Now it is okay. Great. So ये जो advertisements है, materially advertisements, right? This is the noun here. Okay. Then you see, okay, they. So this is a noun pronoun pairing. तो ये sentence इसी को refer कर रहा है. Therefore पहला sentence should be Q. Fine? I mean after S1. Great. अब are one of the worst avoidable evils. ठीक है जी? ये clear हो गया? Now look at our buildings are covered with prints and pictures that distract and wear us. So same context को ये continue करेगा. So when we talk about the same context, we clearly mean that there is a contextual pairing. Q and R are forming a pair. Fine. Then let's talk about S. Architects might have given their designs dignity or the beauty of the pattern. किसकी बात हो रही है? Buildings. कौन बनाता है? Rather this, architects, right? Therefore it has to be Q, R and S together. ठीक है जी? Set हो गया इनका. We're left with P. The advertisements read closely on their heels and destroy its effect. और ये जो advertisements है, once again noun pronoun pairing. They. कितना गंदा कर दिया मैंने इसे, but that was important, that was necessary. Okay, so is it fine? I hope it is. Let's move to the next question. Now both Ratan and his son Moti were idlers and did not like to do any work. Absolutely correct. ठीक है? The last is, in fact, they period themselves on their inactivity and idleness. Right. So इसके साथ कौन सा sentence deal करता है? Look at R. And his son Moti were idlers and did not like to do anything. If I put R after this, R says his wife had died long ago. So Ratan and his son Moti, now Ratan's wife, right? पहले रतन आया है. First we'll talk about Ratan's wife. Fine? Okay. Then look at Q. His wife. Ratan's wife had died long ago. Moti had married in the preceding year, right? Preceding year. Now it is about his wife, Moti. This is Moti's wife, okay? So that makes it R and Q, okay? Sorry. Now, it is, ये जो wife है, noun, जिसके लिए pronoun है she. So, S. R, Q, S, P. That is final. Okay? The result was that their idleness increased all the more. बढ़ती गई उनकी वो खाली बैठने की बीमारी. In fact, they period themselves. In fact, so even more. इसका मतलब यहाँ तक की. Fine? So इसके साथ ये भी जेल हो गया. Fine, we've got it right. Next question. Okay. So, great. 100 meters further along the trail, Mahesh and Rohini stepped short. बहुत clear है. Right? Look at this. Two bear cubs were playing in the creek, gully about 20 meters to their right. बात हुई है meters की, right? चलिए. Q seems to be the first sentence. अब we have two options. ये दोनों. Q के बाद S है और एक में Q के बाद P है. Let's understand which is correct. Let's put S after Q. The day before they had seen a mother and two cubs. Okay. So ये two bear cubs were playing. Maybe. ये भी लग रहा है, right? Now look at P. Okay. So P is they had shouted. Who had shouted, right? Fine. So Q के बाद P does not make sense. It seems as if S, because of noun, pronoun, and see, you know, Q is two bear cubs. Now S reads, the day before they had seen a mother bear and two cubs. So contextually Q and S are linked together. Fine. Then we have P, they had shouted. Now who had shouted, right? The day before they had seen a mother bear and two cubs, they had shouted and waved and watched through binoculars as the mother bear. So we are talking about these two people, Mahesh and Rohini. ये हैं वो they. So Q, S and P का set है and R is connected. Look at R. They had enjoyed the roaring of the mother bear, right? And then, but now, see the contrast now, right? But now the mother bear, perhaps the same grizzly bear, could be just over the ridge, obscured. So, option B. Next one. Well, in an ordinary power station, we burn fuel to get heat, all right? However, instead of getting heat by burning fuel, is the last sentence. Great. So, the first thing we need to understand is that, all right, in an ordinary power station, we burn fuel to get heat. We need a sentence after this that talks about heat, right? So, the heat turns water into steam. See, heat, heat, pair. Fine? Okay, S must be the first. Then, look at R. Now, steam, steam. First, we talked about heat, heat, steam, steam. So, it is S and R. I mean, the first two connected. Okay? Simple, this choice. We don't have an SR pairing anywhere else. Let's look at the next sentence also. It is from the generator that we get electricity, right? And then we have P. In a nuclear power station, we burn water into steam and then use the steam in the same way. However, that is the contrast. So P and S are also, S6 are also forming a pair. Next one. One morning, a few days before Rahman, before the Kabuliwala was due to return to his country, Tagore was working in his study. Very important. Who was working? Seems like Tagore is the subject here. Okay? Subject. At least noun तो नजर आ ही रहा है. ठीक है? चलिए. Okay, so fine. Look at Q. ये he कौन है? This is Tagore. So S1 and then we have put Q. Great. Okay. Now look at P. There were blood stains on his cloth. Whose cloth are we talking about? Q, where is Q, where is Q? This is. He heard shouting in the street and he saw Rahman being led away between by a crowd of curious boys. So Rahman jo hai, there were blood stains on his cloth. Rahman. ठीक है? Noun, pronoun pairing. That means it is Q and this one was P. Is it P? Yes, it is P. Fine. So Q and P form a pair. Fine. Okay. So fine. So Q and P are in option B. That means it is the correct choice. Fine. Now let's talk about some synonyms now. It is vocabulary time. Great. So pick out the correct word that suits the original word given in the bold letter from the various alternatives. Okay, bucolic. Bucolic होता है बहुत simple, right? Simplistic. गलत. Ramification results को कहते हैं गलत. Next one. Vociferous, जो बहुत greedy हो, right? Okay. गलत. Reverse उल्टा करना. Altruism होता है selflessly लोगों की help करना. Wrong. Attenuate, इसका मतलब होता है weak करना. Attrition, beautify सुंदर बनाना. Assert, जोर देके कोई चीज कहना. Tricky. Astonish, dumbfound. Astonish का मतलब होता है शॉक कर देना. Dumbfound का मतलब होता है ऐसे शॉक्ड हो जाना कि आप चुप हो जाएं. Fine. So this is the correct answer. Or देखिए, astonish is a verb. Or verb नहीं है, इसीलिए गलत है. हालांकि मीनिंग more or less सेम है. Equivocal मतलब जो सीधी बात करे, अगली तो करेक्ट आंसर नहीं हो सकता. Body. Body means double meaning jokes which deal with sexual content in a mild way or in a hidden way. Vulgar is the correct answer. Immaculate, जिसमें कोई गलती नहीं होती, या बिल्कुल clean. Impeccable भी immaculate का synonym है, ये भी सही आंसर नहीं है. चलिए, The following are exercises in antonyms. अब antonyms हैं उल्टे words वाले, right? Discreet, जो बहुत अच्छे से decision लेता है. Imprudent, जो बिना सोचे समझे लेता है. Brutalize मतलब किसी के साथ बहुत cruelty exercise करना. Plastic and disturb cannot be the correct answers. Next one, urbane, शहरों में रहने वाला. A person who has all those urbane manners, sophistication. शहरों का style basically, elegance. Uncouth, इसका exact opposite है. Gag मतलब चुप करा देना. In particular, when you thrust a cloth in somebody's mouth and silence the person. Trust cannot be the correct answer. ये भगदड़ होता है. Nondescript, very ordinary. So bright, antonym हो गया. Palatable, something that is tasty. Potable, वो पानी जिसको आप पी सकते हैं. Stunt मतलब short. Vague, vague का मतलब होता है ambiguous, right? So clear, इसका opposite हुआ. Hazy का same meaning है, synonym. This is also synonym. Fashion, ये correct answer हो नहीं सकता. There's no relation between the two. Elegant, stylish, something or somebody who is very different, you know, या फिर extraordinary. तो इसका opposite हुआ ordinary, right? Inordinate होता है excessively. Brilliant, आपको मालूम है, something very good. Doubtful, जो clear नहीं है. चलिए, we have a passage now. Well, on July 15, 2021, the Union government issued 2 Gazette notifications with the hope of ending the long and bitter dispute between Karnataka and Telangana. Important. Over the sharing of Krishna and Godavari waters. Simply put, the notifications ensure that the states will no longer be a part of the decision-making process. Water sharing has been a sore point, important again, इसी पर सारा dispute है, between the states ever since Telangana was carved out of Andhra Pradesh in June 2014. To address the issue, it was decided that river management boards will be set up to look after the operations and water allocation for hydro projects on a case-by-case basis. These boards, noun-pronoun pairing, देखिए, were to be supervised by a tribunal, important, and an apex council comprising chief ministers of both the states and the union ministers of Jal Shakti. All right, giving a say to the center and both states in all matters. Still the dispute continued. Don't change. Still the dispute continued. Just a day before the new notifications were released, Andhra Pradesh moved to the Supreme Court. Important line, requesting the union government's intervention in their dispute, even though, very important, water is a state subject. ठीक है जी, state government को देखना चाहिए. Under the notifications which will be put into force on October 14, the Krishna River Management Board and the Godavari River Management Board will autonomously, बिना government के control के, control 36 projects. Fine. While the center alone will supervise the boards, the states will provide rupees 200 crore each to cover the operational costs. बहुत आसान है. It is about a dispute, right? और कैसे उसको डील किया गया है. Which of the following may be inferred? What is inferable? एक जो स्टेटेड ना हो डायरेक्टली, सेकेंड क्वालिटी ऑफ एन इन्फेरेंस इज दैट इट हैज द नेसेसरी एविडेंस, दोनों चीजें होना चाहिए। चलिए, द डिस्प्यूट ऑफ वाटर शेयरिंग हैज बीन सॉल्व्ड बियॉन्ड द कॉन्टेक्स्ट, क्योंकि उन्होंने एंड में लिखा है, देखिए उन्होंने कहा था स्टिल द डिस्प्यूट कंटिन्यूज, लेट मी शो दैट टू यू, स्टिल द डिस्प्यूट कंटिन्यूड, कहीं नहीं लिखा कि सॉल्व हो गया है, ठीक है। फर्स्ट लाइन में क्या है, विद द होप ऑफ एंडिंग द लॉन्ग, ये नहीं लिखा है कि हो गया। चलिए, द डिस्प्यूट ऑफ वाटर शेयरिंग हैज नॉट बीन सॉल्व्ड, यस एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट, वहां लिखा गया है होप और आगे दिखा रहे हैं कि लड़ाई है, दैट मीन्स इट इज प्रोबेबली द करेक्ट आंसर। सी द डिस्प्यूट हैज बीन अ लॉन्ग वन, ये गिवन है, देखिए ये 2014 ever since, so it's long है, right, so given है। The gadget notifications are an effort to solve the problem, ये भी कहा ही गया है कि in this hope, so given है, it cannot be the correct answer। Which of the following is correct? Let's understand that। The central government ideally should not be required to govern water disputes, ये इनके हिसाब से, let's slides के हिसाब से let's try to analyze it, explain it and understand it। Supreme Court ideally should not be required to govern water disputes, क्यों? ओके, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज करेक्ट, ये कहीं कहा ही नहीं है उन्होंने कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट को, मतलब दे हैज नॉट बीन अ मेंशन अबाउट सुप्रीम कोर्ट नॉट आई मीन आइडियली और एथिकली, राइट, और लीगली दैट सुप्रीम कोर्ट डजंट हैव अ राइट। स्टेट गवर्नमेंट आइडियली शुड नॉट बी रिक्वायर्ड टू गवर्न वाटर डिस्प्यूट्स, उल्टा है इसका, देखिए ये कहा है ना कि इट वाज अ स्टेट सब्जेक्ट, आई हैड अंडरलाइंड इट ऑल्सो फॉर यू, आई कांट फाइंड इट हियर, वी गो, water is a state subject, right? So फिर where were we? No, this was the one, yeah। ये correct कैसे हुआ? Ideally should not, it should, right? The central government is entitled to be informed about water distribution, उन्होंने कहा है that water is a state matter, so why does this become true in the context of the passage? It does not, it is absolutely wrong। Okay, question number 23rd. Since when has the border dispute been Karnataka and Telangana continuing? Since Telangana was carved out of Andhra Pradesh. Okay, great. Since 2014. Tricky question है. Since the Jal Shakti came into being, या inadequate information. Now we need to understand. बहुत अच्छा question है. Border dispute कहाँ है? It is water dispute. Therefore, inadequate information. We don't know about the border dispute. Do they have a border dispute? There's nothing that's been mentioned here, right? So water dispute है वो। चलिए, the river management boards were set up to ensure a truce. Understand कीजिए इसको। Truce क्या होता है? Short term solution. दो parties लड़ रही होती हैं, so we seek a short term solution, that is called a truce, right? A truce among the conflicting states? No. टेम्पररी सोल्यूशन नहीं ढूंढा था उन्होंने, अ ट्रूस बिटवीन द कन्फ्लिक्टिंग स्टेट्स, राइट। अच्छा, एक बात और देखिए, ये दोनों ऑप्शंस आपको सेम लग रहे होंगे, वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द टू। अमंग, इट इज यूज्ड, व्हाट डिड आई डू, फॉर मोर देन टू। सो इफ वी अंडरस्टैंड दिस, लाइक द 5 brothers वर फाइटिंग अमंग वन अनदर, राइट, सो मोर देन 2 इस ऑप्शन का मतलब है कि 2 से ज्यादा थी स्टेट्स, हमें बताया गया है कि सिर्फ 2 थी, तो ये गलत हो गया। सेकंड, अ ट्रूस बिटवीन, अब यहां से पता चल रहा है कि 2 स्टेट्स थी, बिटवीन इज यूज्ड फॉर 2, राइट, ओनली 2 स्टेट्स, फाइन, लेकिन ट्रूस नहीं ढूंढ रहे थे वो, तो ये आंसर अमंग की वजह से गलत हो गया, ये ट्रूस की वजह से गलत हो गया, वैसे ट्रूस वहां पे भी गलत ही है। एनी हाउ, अ पार्ले between the conflicting states. What is a parley? A parley is a meeting between conflicting parties जिसमें solutions ढूंढने की कोशिश की जाती है, एक ऐसी मीटिंग। So क्या ये मीटिंग के लिए शुरू किया था ये? Not at all. Simple. Governance and monitoring of the water related projects, इसी को देखना था इन्होंने। So option D. Question number 25. The boards were to be supervised by the chief ministers of both states. Let's go there. हाँ, ये mentioned है। ये देखिए, these boards were to be supervised by a tribunal. Tribunal कौन होता है? क्या होता है? लीगल टर्म है, राइट, जुडिशरी के कुछ लोग, एंड एन एपेक्स काउंसिल. चलिए, चीफ मिनिस्टर्स ऑफ बोथ स्टेट्स, सिर्फ चीफ मिनिस्टर्स होने थे? नहीं, ये इनकम्प्लीट ऑप्शन है. द यूनियन मिनिस्टर्स ऑफ जल शक्ति, ये भी इनकम्प्लीट है, ये होना चाहिए था लेकिन अकेले ये नहीं थे. द बोर्ड्स वर टू बी सुपरवाइज्ड बाय एंटायरली, मतलब अगर मैं सिर्फ इसको लूंगा तो इट सेज दैट इन्होंने सुपरवाइज करना था, ये इन्होंने, इन सब ने मिलकर करना था. लुक एट सी, अ जुडिशियल बॉडी, ट्रिब्यूनल, राइट, एंड अ कमिटी जो एपेक्स काउंसिल थी. सो दैट इज द करेक्ट आंसर. सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट इज टोटली रॉन्ग. With these words, we are ending the session for today. I hope you understood the concepts. I hope you liked it. And if you have any suggestion, anything that you want to ask, anything that you want to discuss, advise, suggest, whatever. If you have a suggestion with which we can make these classes better for you, you're always welcome to share with us. Thank you.